Hi, I'm Esmeralda, and today I will be talking about women's suffrage. Women in the United States spent decades fighting for the right to vote. It was not an easy fight due to the fact that agreements could not be made, and the United States constantly found itself involved in conflicts, which eventually led to the loss of momentum for the movement. However, the, e- the efforts of activists and reformers did not go to waste, because on August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified. The crusade for women's suffrage began several decades before the Civil War. During that time, reform groups, all with different goals in mind, were rapidly increasing across the United States. However, the movement was officially launched in 1848 when a meeting known as the Seneca Falls Convention was held. The gathering consisted of a group of abolitionist activists, and it was under the leadership of Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott. Stanton was a leading women's rights advocate who became invested after discussion with her father, a law professor. Lucretia Mott was a Quaker preacher known for her religious reform, anti-slavery, and women's rights activism. Both women were significant because they are pioneers for one of the most important movements in history, and thanks to their work, women were successful in achieving social change. Moreover, during the Seneca Falls Convention, the Declaration of Sentiments, inspired by the Declaration of Independence, was written to narrate the demands and grievances of women. Following it were 11 resolutions that ordered for women to be seen equal to men. The ninth one, which called for women's right to vote, caused the most controversy and became the keystone of the women's suffrage movement. For the next couple of years, leaders of the Seneca Falls Convention continued to advocate for women's rights. During the 1850s, the women's rights movement gained momentum, but lost it the moment the Civil War began in 1861. Following the war, the 14th Amendment granting citizenship to former slaves and the 15th Amendment granting African American men the right to vote were ratified. Advocates, including Susan B. Anthony, took this as an opportunity to further push for universal suffrage. Anthony was the pioneer crusader for women's suffrage, and she helped pave the way for the 19th Amendment. In 1869, two rivals also emerged: the National Woman Suffrage Association, who opposed the 15th Amendment, and the American Woman Suffrage Association, who supported it. However, in 1890, both organizations merged and formed the National American Women Suffrage Association, with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucy Stone, and Susan B. Anthony leading it. This organization's goal was to solely recruit members and win the right to vote. Beginning in 1910, states in the West began granting women the right to vote, but several in the East and South resisted. As a result, in 1916, the National American Women Suffrage Association's president at the time, Harriet Chapman Catt, made public a plan to get the vote at last. The same year, the National Woman's Party was formed, and they made it their mission to gain publicity for their cause. On August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment was finally ratified, granting American women the right to vote. Three significant individuals were Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and Carrie Chapman. Three significant developments include the Seneca Falls Convention, the formation of the National Woman Suffrage Association, and the ratification of the 19th Amendment. It took over 70 years for women, along with the help of others, to be victorious in what is the most significant achievement for them. The initial goal was for women to gain equality, but once organizations emerged, they focused on gaining their right to vote. From 1920 up until now, women have been able to participate in elections to determine the future of our nation. Thank you.